Big Sonic, is life meaningless? I mean, we're born and stuff, and then we get old, and then we die, and everything we've done gets forgotten about, and nobody remembers anything and stuff, and we just disappear forever. So what's the point of doing anything, Big Sonic? I mean, we're born, then we grow old, and then we die, and then all of our accomplishments and hard work gets tossed into the rubbish bin of history. So what's the point, Big Sonic? I just feel like it's all just, everything we do is ultimately just meaningless. Really, like, what's the point of even getting up in the morning and then out of our bed and stuff? What's the point of doing anything and being committed and stuff and working hard? What's the point of all of this if in the end we just die and go into the grave and everything we've done gets thrown into the rubbish bin of history? What's the point, Big Sonic? I cannot see any type of point in continuing to even live and stuff. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm losing my mind. Well, Small Sonic, you are suffering from a lot of different problems right now. But I understand where you're coming from, and all I can say is you need to sort of just chill out and calm down. Don't let all of this get to your head, Small Sonic. Of course, I think that you're making a lot of valid points, because we are born, and then we grow old, and then we die, and then everything we've done gets thrown into the rubbish bin of history and stuff, and we just get forgotten about and stuff. All of that is somewhat true. I mean, you need to see life just sort of as for your own personal benefit. See it as like a journey for yourself. You don't need to be remembered or anything like that. Life is about living. Isn't life magical, where we were born and we came out of our mother's womb and we're alive now and stuff, and we have all of these emotions and feelings and all these great experiences? You're worrying about being remembered and stuff. That's not really that important, Small Sonic. Life is a journey. Life is about living and having fun and having all these different experiences. That's what you need to be focused on, Small Sonic. Don't let the bigger picture kind of get you down, Small Sonic. Your life is your journey. You need to just appreciate living more, I guess, and stuff. And don't get all these different things, these very complex existential issues and problems and all this nihilism get to your head, Small Sonic. Life is a journey. Life is about having fun and experiencing all these different things and joys and pleasures and stuff, Small Sonic. Don't be so melodramatic, and don't let all of these existential issues and nihilism get to your head and stuff, Small Sonic. Okay, Big Sonic, you've calmed me down, but I'm still worried. I'm still kind of frantic. I'm still kind of getting kind of emotionally disturbed. We are born, then we grow old, and then we die, and everything we've done and all of our accomplishments get thrown into the rubbish bin of history. I'm just having trouble kind of rationalizing this. What is the point even then to work hard and to like do anything and stuff, and to get out of bed in the morning and to stay committed and to do things and stuff like that? What's the point if it all just gets thrown into the rubbish bin of history after we die? What's the point in all of this, Big Sonic? Well, Small Sonic, you need to calm down, and you shouldn't let all of these existential issues and nihilism get to your head, Small Sonic. Life is a journey. Life is a roller coaster. It's just about having fun and experiencing all these different feelings and emotions and stuff. Life, again, is a journey. It's your journey. You shouldn't be concerned about being remembered or anything like that. Don't worry about the bigger picture, Small Sonic. Think about your own life. Think about the moment. Live in the moment. Life is a journey in your stuff. You don't need to worry about the destination. Have fun, Small Sonic. Experience all the joys and stuff. You don't need to worry about the bigger picture and stuff. Don't let all of these existential issues and nihilism get to your head, Small Sonic. Life is a journey. Live in the moment. Stay calm and relaxed. Breathe in and out, Small Sonic. Don't let all of this nihilism and existential horrors get to your head, Small Sonic. Don't think about the bigger picture. Just focus on your life, live in the moment, and stay calm and cool and relaxed. Okay, Big Sonic, you've you've relaxed me and stuff, and I'm a little bit more calmed down now. Thank you for your emotional support, Big Sonic. No problem, Small Sonic. No problem, Small Sonic. There we go. Don't need to worry about all of these different existential horrors and nihilism and problems like that, Small Sonic. It's all cool now. Thank you so much, Big Sonic, for your emotional support and your contributions to this discussion. I really appreciate your help and stuff. I don't know where I'll be without you, Big Sonic. It's no problem, Small Sonic. Let's butt heads, and let's go running now. The topic of this video is going to be about nihilism. Dun dun dun! Nihilism. You know, nihilism. It's a concept that gets brought up in a lot of my other videos. It's a theme on this channel that I talk about nihilism and stuff. Very edgy, by the way. You know, look at this guy. He talks about nihilism. Very edgy. But nihilism. It's very edgy. I talk about nihilism like it's very edgy, but what is nihilism exactly? Right? You can look up the more academic definitions, the more dictionary definitions. I'm just gonna put it in a nutshell and give you like a very dumbed down explanation of what nihilism is. Basically, nihilism is that nothing we do matters. Life is worthless. We might as well just die and kill ourselves right now because there's no point in anything. That's what nihilism is. I know it's like very this is like very crude and stuff. It's not very academic. You can look up the more academic definitions on your own if you care about those in the dictionary definitions. But I'm just going to give you like kind of I'm going to give you like a dumbed down definition and put it all in a nutshell. You know, nihilism is basically that nihilism is basically that life is worthless. Nothing we do matters. And we might as well just go and kill ourselves because it's ultimately all pointless anyway and stuff. And it's just we're so irrelevant that even us killing ourselves isn't gonna mean anything. That's very dark and scary. Nihilism. That's like my dumbed down, in a nutshell, explanation of nihilism. Obviously, there are more academic definitions, dictionary definitions, but you can look up those in your own spare time. Anyway, back to the topic of this video though, nihilism. You know, again, what is nihilism? I'm just gonna put it in a nutshell, give you a very dumbed down basic explanation, but nihilism is basically that, you know, that life is sort of worthless. Life is not worth living at all. Everything we do is ultimately meaningless and pointless, and just sort of everything we do is just kind of basically it's all just worthless. Everything's worthless. Our lives are worthless. We're just deluding ourselves into thinking that anything we do has any type of higher purpose and meaning, that we're important and special. Like, this is all just nonsense. We're literally like the bacteria in our stomachs. That's how worthless we are in terms of the entire universe. We're completely worthless and nothing we do matters and stuff. And again, we might as well just kill ourselves. That's nihilism in a nutshell. That's my very basic dumbed down explanation of nihilism. That nothing really matters. That's what nihilism is. That nothing really matters. That there is no higher purpose or meaning or value to discover for the human being. Everything is kind of just meaningless and ultimately pointless and worthless and stuff like that. And nothing really matters. That's my very dumbed down basic explanation of nihilism, to put it in a nutshell. Anyway, okay, so why are you talking about nihilism again? Because nihilism is such an important concept to understand, especially if you're a young man or woman. I'm not going to be some misogynistic person, some type of sexist person. You could be a woman as well, I don't know. If you're a young man or woman or whatever you are, nihilism is it's like a very important concept to understand. Nihilism, you know, what's the point? And nihilism is literally, it helps you contemplate on these types of issues. Like, what's the point of everything? What's the point of even living? Why are we here? What are we doing? Is everything we do ultimately just meaningless and pointless and stuff like that? Why go on and stuff? All these types of questions. You know, nihilism. You have to understand the concept of nihilism if you want to answer these types of questions. And you know, Because nihilism, as a young man or a young woman, or whatever you are, you could be anything, I don't know. Nihilism, the concept of nihilism is very important to understand. It's very important to understand the concept of nihilism, because it will help kind of help you contemplate. It will help, like, once you understand the concept of nihilism, you start to like think about these more important questions and stuff like that. Like, you know, what's the point? Why am I alive? Why am I alive? What am I doing? Where am I going? What's the point of everything? What's the point of anything? Everything? Whatever. You know, is it like, is this all worth it in the end? I don't know. You know, these types of questions, these important existential questions, right? You have to understand the concept of nihilism to even begin to answer these very important existential questions. And again, nihilism, what is nihilism? Nihilism, the concept of nihilism basically is that nothing really matters. Everything we do is ultimately pointless and meaningless. There's no higher purpose for the human being. We're just we're so worthless. We're like the bacteria in our stomachs and stuff like that. We're in a cosmic sense, I don't know. But as a young man or a young woman or whatever you are, the concept of nihilism is so important to understand, because it'll help you contemplate on these very important existential questions, right? Why am I alive? What am I doing? What's the point? Is everything meaningless and worthless? Why am I even continuing to live and stuff like that? These very important existential questions, right? Like, what's my purpose? You must understand the concept of nihilism first if you want to answer these very important existential questions. Or you could just be some type of dumbass, because I don't know, you could be some type of dumbass. You're not too intellectually bright. I don't know. You just want to go through life, I don't know, drinking alcohol and I don't know, and going on to the internet to watch stuff that's not appropriate. I don't know, and then I don't know, just continue to drink alcohol and to do stuff that's not appropriate. I don't know. Maybe you can become a hobo later on, I don't know, and drink your own urine as well. I don't know. You know, you can be like that. I don't know. But if you care about like these, if you care about being like a decent human being, if you care about using your intelligence and stuff like that, you know, the concept of nihilism, yeah, you have to. It's so important. It's like it's a cornerstone of philosophy, right? Nihilism. Friedrich Nietzsche's, man, that guy, he revolutionized this like our understandings of so many different things, of philosophy as well and stuff like that. You know, because nihilism, you can, you know, in my opinion, nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. It's that important. You must understand the concept of nihilism, and obviously nihilism relates to Friedrich Nietzsche, and you must read Friedrich Nietzsche's books. Although maybe not, maybe you shouldn't read Friedrich Nietzsche's books. Friedrich Nietzsche's writing style is so artistic. He's German, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know. His writing style is so horrible and artistic. You don't. He forces you to like need to use like some type of dictionary to understand what he's talking about. Maybe you can buy. Maybe don't read Friedrich Nietzsche's books, but you can. Other people have kind of like summarized his books and made commentaries on them. Maybe you should read other people's books that are based around like what Friedrich Nietzsche was talking about. I don't know. I mean, Friedrich Nietzsche is his writing style is so artistic. He's German, by the way, so I don't know. Maybe that kind of makes sense. So I don't know. Maybe you should not read Friedrich Nietzsche's books. Maybe you need to find other authors that talk about Friedrich Nietzsche and kind of dumb down his ideas and make them easier to understand. Maybe you need to find these other types of authors. You should be able to find them. Friedrich Nietzsche's summary and stuff like that. You go on Amazon, type in Friedrich Nietzsche summarized and etc. and stuff. Friedrich Nietzsche summarized. I don't know. But anyway, Friedrich Nietzsche, you need to like at least kind of grasp some of his work and stuff like that, and the concept of nihilism, obviously, because nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy that you can take. That's like a quote that you can take from me. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. It's that important, and you must understand the concept of nihilism, because the concept of nihilism, it directly relates to all of these very important existential questions. Why am I alive? What's the point? What's my purpose? Where am I going? Why should I continue to live? These types of very important existential questions. Nihilism is related to all of these important existential questions. Nihilism, basically that nothing we do really matters. So why would that be? Why would we need to understand this? because it's so the concept of nihilism is so depressing. But it's again, in my opinion, nihilism is like a cornerstone of philosophy, right? It's that the concept of nihilism is that important. It's so important. It's literally that important because in my opinion, nihilism is literally like a cornerstone. It's a cornerstone of philosophy. It's so important to understand the concept of nihilism. You know, because these are very important existential questions. Why am I alive? What's the point? Why should I continue to live? Where am I going? Why do I exist? All these important existential questions. Nihilism is related to all of these. Nihilism literally is directly related to all of these very important existential questions. The concept of nihilism. Okay, so these important existential questions. Okay, so but nihilism is just that nothing we do really matters. So why is that? Why should I even like think about nihilism? That's that. Why are you trying to make me depressed and suicidal? Because I don't know. Because I'm trying to help you think about these very important existential questions, man or woman, I don't know. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. In my opinion, that's like a little quote. A little quote that you can take from me. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. It's that important. The concept of nihilism is that important to grasp and understand. If you care about using your mental faculties. Or you can just be a dumbass, I don't know. Dumbass. Drink some alcohol. You might want to drink some alcohol or something, I don't know. Do drugs, I don't know. Go on the internet and watch things that aren't appropriate, you know what I mean? I don't know. Then touch something that's between your pants, I don't know. I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty details, I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about that. I'm making this video so awkward and cringy, I don't know. Shut up about this. But, you don't want to be a dumbass. If you care about using your mental faculties, right? The concept of nihilism, you need to understand it. It directly relates to all of these very important existential questions. Okay, so how does it relate to all these important existential questions, right? Why do I exist? What's the point? Why should I continue living? Blah blah blah. Where am I going? What am I doing? Nihilism, because nihilism basically is that nothing we do really matters. So why is that? Why do we need to understand the concept of nihilism? Because nihilism, once you start to like kind of try and conceptualize nihilism, right, and try and grasp nihilism, that is everything we do ultimately pointless and meaningless. You're going to start to wonder and kind of start to think more about these important existential questions, like why am I? What's the point of living? Why should I continue to live and stuff like that if everything is meaningless and pointless? And then this is when you're going to really have your period of enlightenment, and you're going to like try and discover like the true purpose of your life. I don't know. Nihilism, you must contemplate on nihilism and think about nihilism and try and attempt to grasp the concept of nihilism if you care about using your mental faculties. Or you can be a dumbass and drink alcohol and just become a hobo, and then you can drink your own urine, I don't know. But if you care about using your mental faculties, right, nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. That's how important the concept of nihilism is. It's so important to grasp the concept of nihilism. But nihilism, you said that nihilism in a nutshell is that nothing we do really matters. Why is this such an important, groundbreaking concept? Because it's gonna shake you, man. Once you like start to grasp nihilism and try and understand it, it's gonna shake you. Is everything we do ultimately meaningless and pointless? Because we were born, then we grow old and die, and everything we do gets thrown into the rubbish bin of history. So is ultimately everything we do meaningless and pointless? Is our life and our lives worthless and stuff? You're making me depressed and suicidal. I don't know. I'm trying to help you think about this. Because once you start to like grasp the concept of nihilism and try and understand it, you're gonna have like your period of enlightenment. And you're gonna contemplate on like, what is my purpose? Why am I alive? What's the point of doing anything? These questions, like, they're gonna trigger something in you. And once you start to contemplate on the concept of nihilism as well, all of this is gonna trigger some type of enlightenment in you, and you're going to discover your true purpose. You're gonna discover your true purpose. You're going to experience you're gonna like have like some type of period of enlightenment, and you're gonna discover your purpose. This can only happen if you try and grasp and understand the concept of nihilism, and which will ultimately, like, once you try and grasp and understand the concept of nihilism, you're also going to be trying to think about these other very important existential questions and topics, all of this is just going to trigger something very special inside of you, and you're going to have like a period of enlightenment, and you're going to hopefully discover some type of true purpose, or you might not discover any type of true purpose, and you might just fully embrace and accept nihilism and become suicidal and stuff, and maybe become so depressed that you might want to off yourself, I don't know. But all is so important, so important, right? Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. It's a cornerstone of philosophy. Look up Friedrich Nietzsche's. He wrote a bunch of books. He's so autistic, man. I do not recommend you attempt to try and read his literature unless you want to experience a lot of headache. There's other people who have made commentaries and kind of summarized his works and stuff like that, and talked about the topics that he talked about and stuff in a more digestible way, in a more easy to understand way. You can find these other authors, right? Literally just write, I don't know, Friedrich Nietzsche's for Dummies. I don't know, maybe that might be a type of book that you can find, or maybe not. There should be other authors that have made commentaries and stuff like that. You should be able to find them. Just Friedrich Nietzsche's, like, summarized or dumbed down or something. You should be able to like write something like this and stuff, and find like other authors that have made more easier to digest books and stuff like that. I don't know. But nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. You must attempt to try and grasp and understand the concept of nihilism. Once you try and attempt to grasp and understand the concept of nihilism, it's going to trigger in you like all of these like all these other important existential questions. You're going to start to wonder about them as well and stuff. And it's just, all of this is going to trigger like it's going to be like it's going to trigger some type of enlightenment in you and stuff like that. And you're going to wonder and ponder about like, why am I alive? What's the point? Should I just kill myself right now? That is going to be your magical moment. That's going to be so magical for you and stuff. It's going to be so magical for you. And then you're in all of this like depression. I don't know. Maybe you might become depressed and suicidal. I don't know. Whatever happens to you in this period of mental angst and mental frustration, blah blah blah, you're going to discover your true purpose. Or maybe you're not, or maybe not, or maybe not, or you might just fully embrace and accept nihilism and become suicidal and depressed and realize that, oh, we don't even have a real purpose, so let's just kill ourselves. I don't know. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. You must understand the concept of nihilism. You must attempt to grasp the concept of nihilism. You should try and read Friedrich Nietzsche's work, but he's German, man. His writing style is so autistic. He's going to give you his literature is going to give you a headache. Other people have made commentaries on his works and dumbed down his ideas, so you can find these other people's books on him and stuff and read those ones. That's what I would recommend. Friedrich Nietzsche's literature is so mentally frustrating. I do not recommend it unless you want to like experience a lot of headaches and pain. But anyway, nihilism, it kind of goes back to Friedrich Nietzsche's nihilism, blah blah blah. But you know, that's why I recommend you at least like kind of do some research on Friedrich Nietzsche and kind of read some of his works, or at least other people's commentaries on his works. I don't know. But nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. That's how important it is. The concept of nihilism. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. Once you try and attempt to grasp and understand nihilism, that's going to trigger in you something so special, right? You're going to want to ponder and like wonder about all these other important existential questions, and you're going to have like your period of enlightenment, and this is going to force you to attempt to discover what your true purpose is and stuff like that. It's going to be so magical. That's why I do recommend you at least try and understand and grasp the concept of nihilism. But you said that in a nutshell. Nihilism just means that nothing really matters. Everything we do is pointless and meaningless, and ultimately everything that we do is just going to get thrown into the rubbish bin of history, and we're so worthless. We're like the bacteria in our stomachs and stuff. True, all of that might be true, but you know, if you need to contemplate on this. All of that might be true, but you need to contemplate on this. Like nihilism as a concept, you must attempt to grasp and understand. I gave you my own very dumbed down definition and explanation and put everything in a nutshell, but you need to try and attempt to contemplate and to kind of understand nihilism on your own. Once you attempt to do this and stuff like that, it's going to trigger in you something so special and magical, because it's going to force you to think about these other very important existential questions. And in this period of like frustration, mental frustration and depression and sadness, you're going to discover your true purpose, or you might not discover your true purpose again, or you might just accept nihilism and commit suicide. I don't know. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. So important, the concept of nihilism, to grasp, to attempt to grasp and understand it. Again, I gave you a very dumbed down explanation of it. I put everything in a nutshell. You can look up the more academic definitions on your own. I don't know. But you need to really just contemplate and think about the concept of nihilism. You need to think about whether or not nihilism is true. because nihilism relates to all of these other very important existential questions, right? In my opinion, nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. That's like a little cute quote that you can take from me and hang it on your wall. That nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. That's how important it is to understand and to grasp and to think about. You must attempt to grasp and to think about the concept of nihilism. It relates to so many important existential questions, topics, genres of different things, blah, blah, blah. Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. You must contemplate on the topic of nihilism, or the concept of nihilism, blah, blah, blah. You need to think about nihilism a lot. What is because once you start to think about the concept and the topic and blah, blah, and the nihilism, blah, 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 you wonder about these other very important existential questions. Why am I alive? What's the point? Why shouldn't I just kill myself right now? Nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. You must attempt to understand and to grasp the concept of nihilism. And you can look up the academic definitions, and I recommend you read maybe not Friedrich Nietzsche's literature, because he's German and he's kind of autistic, and his writing style is kind of autistic. You can find other people's commentaries of his books, but I don't know, maybe you should attempt to read his literature as well. I don't know. If you can deal with all that type of frustration that might come from like his writing style, because his writing style is very autistic and he is German and stuff, I don't know. But nihilism is a cornerstone of philosophy. It's a very important concept, an idea to understand. And is it an idea? Is it a concept? I don't know. It's like you can kind of define it in so many different ways. Nihilism, is a cornerstone of philosophy. You need to kind of understand and to attempt to grasp the concept of nihilism, blah, blah, blah. And I recommend you read Friedrich Nietzsche's works and stuff like that, and other people's commentaries on his works. Maybe if you might have some difficulty with his writing style and his literature and stuff. And that's about it. Nihilism, again, is a cornerstone of philosophy. Once you start to think about nihilism, it's gonna help you think about all these other important existential topics as well and questions, blah, blah, blah.